Another thing that I do that allows me to meet a lot of other people is when we take deals down, we like to market it in Florida. People in Florida, California, New York, they look for cash flow deals, and that's one thing the Midwest is known for.
Yeah.
So we can get, you can get a good ROI on property in Cincinnati. So if people looking to invest, look at Cincinnati. Now the prices have went up a little bit, but it's still good opportunities. But we market a lot online to people in California, in Florida, in New York, in Nevada, and we find buyers in those areas as well.
Nice.
Damn, Paul, I'm impressed, man. Now through social media, I admit, man, that's what helped me cross over. Now, my China investors, now that was actually a personal relationships, local. Yeah. But now Russia, Bolivia, a couple other countries. How are you making? Because you got Tel Aviv, and then you got Morocco, and then is it somewhere else?
Yeah, we're working on Dubai now. So I'm headed to Dubai in June, and looking to raise money in Dubai. So and work with some people over there. So I'm headed to Dubai in June and try to add that to the list.
Man, that's awesome, man.
You should tag along, Mike.
He told me actually, because
he
already told me we were planning on it, and I was like, I'm game, because you were trying to go in May or end of May or June.
I was looking to go at the end of May, but some personal issues, so I had to push it back just a little bit. Yeah. So I'm actually gonna go to Morocco. I'm gonna stay there about 4 days, and then I'm gonna go to Dubai for 4 days.
Nice. Today's in June.
It's in June, yes.
We should have our live broadcast there.
We are. In fact, we are.
All right.
Wally Piper was like, free trip, road trip.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, man, so tell me about this apartment deal. Like, give our people some kind of step-by-step, man. Because some people are like, man, you tell me about this, but how do you do that? Like,
how you find deals in today's hot market where everybody are complaining on BR Invest. I cannot find deals and it's too hot. Like, people are paying 25% more than the market. It's like, how did you go around that?
Well, this particular deal, a commercial agent reached out to me about another property. It was a property on Ridgeway. Mike, we discussed that property a little bit, and I actually presented that to.
All right, let's go back before we go there.
Sure.
How did you meet this broker?
This broker,
or a real agent?
Yeah, so I came across him at a meeting, and he said that, he was with Marcus and Millichap. That's a commercial brokerage. I think they're nationwide.
Yeah, they are. So you were networking.
Met him.
So wait a minute.
And then I talked myself up.
So you've been doing this since 2004. So 14, 20, 15 years, how many years? 20 years, something like that, 17 years. And you're still networking.
It's a must. It's a must because you never know who you may come across. So you definitely want to network as often as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So you network, you taught them, you talked to them, you told them what you're doing. Then what happened?
So I talked to the agent, and I said, hey, look. But I talked myself up. You guys know me. I usually do residential properties, single families, maybe 4 families, 5 families.
Yeah, that's you.
But I told him, I said, hey, look, I'm looking for some big deals. I actually was looking for something to flip to you.
I was about to say. So why are you looking at big deals?
I'm looking at big deals so I can sell them to you.
Yeah, but why? But even selling me, why are you looking at big deals now? Because that wasn't even your comfort zone, and you still kind of you would push back a little bit.
And that's the thing. Like I said, I know that's something you're looking for. I know you're a real buyer, and that's something your audience needs to know. Mike and Win are doing real deals regularly. I know some gurus are really just salesmen, and that's okay as well. But these guys are really doing deals, so the principles and the instructions that they give are tried and true. So I wanted to make sure everybody knew that, and I'm a living testament to that. Now, I knew Mike and Nate are looking for, and other partners looking for apartment deals. So I said, well, look, let me start looking for those so I can make some bigger money. And I've done a few apartment deals. I've done some commercial deals, but it was an opportunity with this agent. He hungry, so he was bringing deals. So I said, hey, look, start bringing me some 50 units, 100 units. If you see something, I'm interested. He said, okay. So he brought me a 31 unit, and I said, okay. So me, I try to be cautious. I sent somebody who I knew might be interested through the building, and he was interested. So in this situation, they wanted like $10,000 earnest money. And so I did a letter of intent, and unfortunately, the seller went dark on us. And for you all who don't know what that means, like the seller just disappeared. We couldn't find it. I had a letter of intent, a signed letter of intent from the seller, and then no one could catch up to him. He wasn't taking any phone calls anymore. And the word was that the seller was actually a wholesaler who closed on the property, and he paid too much money for it, and he couldn't liquidate. So he was in a bind. He wanted to get rid of it, and I was ready to play ball. So I went back to the agent I was dealing with, and I asked him, hey, what's going on? He's like, man, for some reason I can't catch up. The agent even gave me the contact's personal information for me to try to catch up to him, to try to put the deal back together. But unfortunately, I didn't have any luck. So the agent, when he came across something else, he said, look, I know I owe you one. I got this deal around the corner. And it was an 18 unit. So we went from a 31 to an 18 unit. So I said, hey, look, I'd like to see it. He walked me through it. It was in much better shape than the 31 unit, actually. And I knew I could find a buyer for that one. So I ended up getting that one under contract. I had to put up $5,000 earnest money. I got the unit for $255,000, I believe. And I sold it to somebody for $300,000. I flipped it to them for $300,000.
Nice, 45,000.
Yeah. So I did put up. I know sometimes you don't have to put up your own money, but I did have to put up the earnest money. But I felt confident in the product that I was getting, and I knew I could resell it.
Now, when you
I brought that to you too as well.
You sure did. You sure did. I get a little more sedity on deals now.
I know.
Now,
Hey,
when I first started though, that was a deal I would have done.
okay.
You know, because you remember I was in the West End and Lincoln Heights, baby.
Right.
I just, I don't
The trenches, I know.
Yeah. So now we're going to talk about different ways to find deals. As again, my special guest is Paul Glenn, and he's going to share with you some of the different ways he's finding deals, and especially in a challenging market like this.
Craigslist. Now, Craigslist is not as potent as it used to be. Well, I do use it to exit property sometimes. So like I said, I do market in different areas around the country. Some of the deals that we do get, Facebook Marketplace is becoming a pretty good tool to use for acquiring and liquidating properties. And also, you definitely want to join the different real estate groups for deals and to sell properties to people all over the country. Like I said, people invest in the Midwest from all over the country, so you can put your deals just about anywhere. Cold calling, I have VAs to do the cold calling. Cold calling is, and I actually call as well, so let me talk about that a little bit more. On the cold calling, the strategy I'm using right now is high equity delinquents. So someone who has equity, but they're falling behind on their payments. So we're reaching out to them. So I call those people personally. Also, delinquent
You still call
tax.
people personally?
Yeah. Some people,
Okay.
I still call personally. Because I feel like I can tell if somebody a tire kicker or not, or if they're serious or not. So sometimes I want to hear their voice and speak to them and see the situation and see how I can possibly help. And that's one thing too. We're service providers. We're trying to help people out of situations. So always keep that in mind. We providing services, and we're making money in the process. So I do cold call delinquent taxes, especially if it's close to the sale date. So here we can see about 2 months out before a property is going to sheriff's sale. So I'll try to track down the seller and see if they're interested in selling, especially if the property is empty. So if it's delinquent taxes, the property is empty, they're probably going to be motivated. And it's just about negotiating a good price to where you can wholesale it. So on cold calling, I do actually call sometime, but just on when I blitz a list. But if you're going to cold call, you want to narrow down your list. You want to try to find something like vacant, out-of-town owner, delinquent tax. You want to stack, the motivation so you can find, so you don't waste too much time.
And high equity on top.
And high equity on top of that, yes. Now we got the center of influence. So that we talked about that a little bit earlier with the networking. You just want to get in as many rooms as possible. Here in Cincinnati, we have a great real estate investing association. Hundreds of people come out twice a month and you'll learn creative ways to do deals, meeting people to do more deals. And like I said, I like to work with other wholesalers who don't know how to get deals closed.
Yeah, that's how we started networking.
That's how we started.
So
we used to wear shirts that say "We buy stinky houses." They used to laugh at us. But everybody always remembered us, though.
Yep, exactly.
And people always remember
that's
us because we
marketing.
wore them shirts.
Yeah.
Like I said, we work with other wholesalers and attorneys. Attorneys is definitely a good resource. You know, building relationships with them for like divorces, probate, estates, a lot of different avenues to get properties with attorneys. Title companies. Actually, my title company brings me deals.
Nice.
And they bring transactional funding opportunities. I don't have a lot of money. I didn't make the broke to millions yet, but sometimes I can help out in a small transactional fund deal. And Terry Monty Title, I don't know if I was allowed to shout them out, but Colleen over at Terry Monty, she take good care of me and she bring deals my way. Property managers. So I know a lot of people are familiar with like scrubbing Section 8 lists and reaching out to landlords, especially if you see the property on the list for a long time and they're having a problem renting it, they may be motivated to sell. So, and now with Section 8 here locally, they have a lot of things online. So you can create an account, you can see different contact information for the landlords, the properties, how many properties they have, and a lot of stuff like that. And like I said, just network as much as you can. You know, you never know who you may come across. Like I said, our real estate association situation here in Cincinnati is great. A lot of people involved. Like I said, right now, real estate is real popular. So a lot of people looking to get into it, and that's the way to find deals. Like I said, people have deals, so they don't even know it. It's right in front of them, and they don't know how to get it done. So once you speak to them, you can figure out the situation and work a deal out of it.